Hello, subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome to the first part of a brand new series of a little-known game called Ruler Waves 2. Now, a couple things to mention before we get started. This specific screen I'm needing to capture using window capture. However, the vast majority of this game is going to be needing to be captured via OBS's display capture, but for whatever reason, OBS display capture is incapable of capturing anything when this screen is up. I don't know why. It just apparently does not function. So yeah. Now, a couple things to mention before we get started. One, this game is very much a spreadsheet simulator, so if you don't enjoy spreadsheet simulators, this game and the series is probably not going to be for you, just as a heads up. Each part will probably be roughly an hour long, otherwise basically nothing would ever happen in every part, particularly when we get into big battles. Also, I will have some royalty-free music playing in the background, just so there's a little bit of noise when I am not talking. Got that from a recent Humble Bundle. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm not particularly great at this game. I'm still sort of learning the ropes at the end of the day, so yeah. We're going to do a 1900 game, and we have some choices of people to play as. We could play as the British, the French, the Italians, Austria-Hungary, the Germans, the Russians, the Japanese, the US, China, the Confederacy, or Spain. We're going to play as the US. So, leader is president, liberal democracy, build area North American East Coast, game naval budget of 32,000, historical naval budget of 26,000, rapid economic growth, tech leader, starting dock size of 14,000. Game claims we do not have oil, but I believe this is specifically referring to, do you have the tech for oil at game start, not do you have a holding that produces oil, which is, we do have holdings that produce oil even at game start. Some research advantages. So we have advantages for radar and electronics, as well as some bonus tech for superimposed X turrets, superimposed B turrets, aircraft carriers, and these are all our starting naval guns from 2 to 12 inches. The game does go up to 20 inches, but we start out with just these. And playing as the US, our opponents end up being Germany, the British, the French, Russians, Japanese, and Italians. Now we're going to go with larger for fleet size, historical, resources. We're going to drop research rate down to 60%, just because 100% I find to be too quick, personally. And I'm just trying to sort of find something I like, and I played a recent game with 60, and I kind of liked it, so we're going to go for that. Harsher peace deals, slow aircraft development, and let's rename our Admiral. Now, I am going to pause the recording right here so that I can switch over to display capture for the actual screen. So, one moment. Okay, and we're back. Let me actually start my timer. I forgot to do that. But as you can see, like I said, this game is very much a spreadsheet simulator, so that is something you're going to have to take into account with this game. I will have a link down in the description for anyone who wants to go ahead and pick up this game. It is an enjoyable game, but it is a spreadsheet simulator. So between the first part here and next part, I am actually going to go off screen and go through all of the ships of the various nations, just so that I can figure out what they have. The main reason I'm doing that is because I'm not allowed to have this almanac up while I'm designing a ship, which is frankly very annoying. But that is sadly how it works. We are going to go and scrap all of these coastal fortifications. 4 and 6 inch guns just aren't worth it, to be completely honest with you, so we're just going to get rid of them. Kick research up to 12% of our total budget. Put naval guns to high priority, submarines to high priority, torpedoes to high priority, machinery development, fire control, turrets and gun mountings, and then everything else can stay more or less as is. We'll put explosives and AP down to low. Now let's take a look at what our starting ships are. So we're starting off with the Fusilier class destroyer, which has one 3-inch gun, 4 2-inch secondaries, and 2 above water centerline torpedo tubes. No armor whatsoever, max speed of 27 knots, 400 tons for its displacement, and local only fire control. We also have the slightly larger, so presumably slightly newer, Bainbridge class at 500 tons, same 27 knots, 2 3-inch guns as opposed to 1, and the same 4 2 inches and 2 above water center lines. We got a ton of those. We got 4 San Francisco classes, 8 5-inch guns, 3 on each side, and then 1 fore and aft, 2 submerged torpedo tubes, which I believe that means 1 on each side, correct? Yes, 1 on each side. 2-inch belt armor, 1.5 inches of deck armor, and 2-inch turrets, and 4-inch conning tower. Now, 1.5-inch deck armor is more so in the later game not a good idea. Anything less than 2 inches of armor is prone to being affected by shrapnel and splinters. So, generally, at some point, a minimum of 2 inches becomes the norm for ship design. Here in the early game, it's not that big of a deal. We have some Olympia classes, 2 6 inches, 6 4 inches, 2 submerged torpedo tubes, 2-inch belt, 1.5 inch deck, 2-inch turret. This one actually has some armor on the secondaries, but it's still below the 2 inches, 4 inches on the conning tower. And finally, for our light cruisers, we have the Chicago class, which has 8 5-inch guns, 2 submerged. This is very much just the San Francisco, slightly larger in displacement. It's literally a frickin' San Francisco. In every way, it is a San Francisco. Just a bit bigger. And it doesn't get anything for being slightly bigger. We got the Pueblo class armored cruiser. 4 9-inch guns and 2 gun turrets. 10 6-inch guns in casemate. And 12 3-inch guns, presumably also in casemate. This does not render tertiary guns, so I don't know for certain with the 3-inch guns there at a glance, but that's presumably what they are. Yeah, it's a little early for them to be in turrets. These are actually slightly faster than our light cruisers, which is a bit of a weird thing, but whatever. We got the Brooklyns. 4 7-inch guns and 2 gun turrets. 12 5-inch casemates and 10 3-inch, presumably also casemates. This has 3 submerged torpedoes, which probably means there's a 4, which is a bit of a weird one, but I can live with it. 5.5-inch belt, 1.5-inch deck, 5-inch turret, 3-inch battery, and 6-inch conning tower. What was the Pueblo? 52536. Okay. And finally, our pre-dreadnought battleships. So we got the Montanas, 4 12-inch, 2 per turret, 16 6-inch casemates, and 12 3-inch casemates. 7.5-inch belt, 2-inch deck, 7.5-inch turrets. Those are some pretty heavy turrets, to be honest. 4-inch battery and 8-inch conning tower, and the Oklahomas, which are kind of just Montanas with a bit more armor. Yeah. Our Oklahomas are literally just Montanas. Okay. And we're actually building more Montanas, which presumably means the Montana is a slightly newer design than our Oklahomas. Is that correct? No, they are both listed as 1900 for the year. I'm not actually sure. This is just the randomly generated fleet layout that we got at the start. There is a mod for a historical one, but I just chose not to use that. So, yeah, we got a bit of a weird design here, to be honest. So, let's go ahead and start moving stuff around. So we have 5 Oklahomas, and we're building 2 more Montanas. We also have 2 new ships in production. Well, 2 new designs, rather, of battleships. We have the Illinois, which is basically just a Montana, Oklahoma, with maybe a bit more on the turrets compared to the Oklahomas, but it's basically just an Oklahoma. We have the Colorado, which is only getting a single class, or a single ship of its class, right now. 9-inch belt, yeah. They're all kind of slow, to be honest. Sorry about that, I had to pause for a bit. So let's see, we have to cover North American, East Coast, Caribbean, Southeast Asia. I generally don't bother deploying any ships to the West Coast because it just doesn't... Typically there's no fighting here. Same with the Northern Pacific. Main reason for that is naval invasions. The Russians can't get to Alaska because you can only invade things within this circle. That's your invasion range. And well, Russia is going to have a similar invasion range to us, so they're not getting here anytime soon. Same with the West Coast. In fact, even when I've had British Columbia covered, I've not been able to invade it for some reason. So I don't know if for the British it's similar, if they're even able to invade the Western US or not. But yeah, I don't bother deploying troops or ships to the West Coast. It's just not worth it. Central Pacific, I will generally leave nothing there, except for a couple of foreign station ships. Because, well, again, typically no fighting will happen here because nobody's going to get within range of Midway or Pearl Harbor for the most part. So most of our fighting will happen, like I said, East Coast, Caribbean, Southeast Asia. At least at game start. So let's go ahead and see how we want to deploy our troops. Or well, our ships. Technically troops, but whatever. So the Oklahomas are a little bit weird. Let's go ahead and we'll ship 3 to Southeast Asia. We'll ship 2 to the Caribbean. We shall ship the Brooklyns to Southeast Asia. Oh, I already have one in Southeast Asia. Okay, you stay in Central Pacific. I remember there was a... Remember there was an option to be able to tell you to cancel your orders. Damn it. Okay, yep, I just can't get you to cancel your order, so you're just gonna have to leave and come back, that's fine. We will take 2 Pueblos and put them in the Caribbean. We'll leave one in the East Coast. Put the Chicagos in Southeast Asia. Olympias can go to the Caribbean. We'll leave the San Frans on the East Coast. These guys have issues. Cramped accommodations and short range make them basically worthless. And to change that, I'd have to completely redesign them. Actually, I can't change that at all. So these guys aren't going to have the range necessary to go anywhere if I send them to the Southeast Asia. I think they'll be able to fight in the Caribbean. That's where we'll send all the Fusiliers. Most of the fighting will presumably be in the East Coast and Southeast Asia, so we'll sort of split these guys up. We have 19. We'll do 10 and 9, with 10 going to Southeast Asia. Really? You're gonna go Northern Europe, West Africa, South Africa, Indian Ocean, Southeast Asia? Is that actually faster than going down into the Caribbean, around South America, then? I don't know. I actually don't know if that is faster or not. The Panama will eventually open up, but right now it's closed. And I think that's all we're gonna do for this first move. Oh, dump some money into upgrading our shipyards, that's important. And we'll put everybody on low intelligence. Because we're gonna need to gain at least a little bit of intelligence on everybody. Britain puts down a Drake class, Russia puts down a Rosia class, and we have more ships in Northern Europe than our bases can support. Well, yeah, because we don't have any bases in Northern Europe, game. Okay, let's just continue on. Scandal involving some important dignitaries from Russia has occurred at a party given on a world cruise by one of your ships. How do we handle the incident? Russia doesn't really have anything I want. And I'm not going to gain any budget for increasing tension, so hush it up. Intelligence reports Germany is building an 11-inch coastal battery in Germany, and again, more ships in the Indian Ocean than we can support. Sudden slump in the economy has led to widespread unemployment and poverty, as well as cutbacks in military spending. You're asked to advise. So, I believe saying that the government should consider social reforms has the potential to give you a payoff in the future. I've never had Parliament actually pass the social reforms when I say the government should probably pass social reforms. In my experience, typically what ends up happening is the president gets heat from conservatives and just says, okay, then I'm not going to do it. And just quietly hushes up the plans. Oh, do I have a Corvette? No, I don't. Let's design a Corvette. These are the ships I typically assign to foreign stations. So, give them colonial service. They don't need to be particularly fast, so I can make them... Honestly, 20 knots is a little fast for a Corvette. That's fine. We'll let them have that. Want to give them reliability? Nah. I don't. Well, is there a way to decrease cost at all? I give him speed priority on the engine, that slightly decreases cost. But not really a lot, so we'll just leave that be. So the Lakemore class, yep, go ahead, design that. And a major shipyard is offering to build me a Colorado in 25 months at a 10% discount. Sure. And we'll call it the North Carolina. During a coordination review, there has been a collision between one of our ships and a ship of Japan. The incident was a result of clumsy maneuvering by the ill-trained crew of the ship from Japan. Lakemore. Go ahead and build 10 of those, which we can't afford to build. Not too surprised by that, to be honest. Find some way to cut costs. Wherever we can. Russia's building coastal batteries. We got some information on the armored cruiser Europa from the British. Nice to have. Aha. So the French wish to sell us quality -2 13-inch guns. We cannot currently manufacture any 13-inch guns. We'd get the tech eventually. But sure, I'll buy it now. And we got fleet tactics, which I don't really care about, so decrease priority on that. Let's start trying to build coastal batteries. So Portland has a single, well, Maine has a single port, so we'll build a single 10-inch battery there, which is going to take 10 months. I don't really have funds the last 10 months. So let's halt the Colorado. Okay, nothing happened that turn. You want to build me a Lakemore? Sure. I could always use more Lakemores. Socialist Party is doing well in opinion polls and might want to press for reduced armament expenditure after the upcoming election. What do you do? Suppress socialist propaganda in the Navy. Spy from Russia has been discovered. Give it maximum publicity. And we got the blueprints of the Centurion. A Royal Oak class, 4 13-inch guns and 2 gun turrets, 14 7-inch casemates and 10 3-inch presumably casemates, 18 knots, so a little bit faster than our battleships, 9.5-inch belt, 2-inch deck, 9.5-inch turret, 4.5-inch battery, and 10-inch conning tower. Not a bad ship. I don't think I can design dreadnought battleships yet, though. No, we're still pre-dreadnought. I believe you have to get up to a certain speed before you can be considered a dreadnought battleship. I don't recall what that speed requirement is. It might also be a gun requirement, I'm not sure. We'll get there eventually either way, it doesn't really matter too much. Japan appears to be considering a naval rearmament program. The government asked for my advice. Condemn it. British are building a 12-inch gun battery in Ireland? I mean, I think 10's fine, guys. Okay, so the eastern US has 3 ports. I like to generally do 1 gun per port. I don't actually know if the game is smart enough to actually space it out. So it's 1 gun per port. I've never really paid attention. And admittedly, most of my eastern US engagements seem to occur around Boston or New York. Can't say I've had any real engagements down in Philadelphia. Doesn't really matter though. We're gonna do that, start getting those 10-inch guns out. New docks completed, and the California, New Jersey, and Ohio have all been commissioned. Get our dock sizes continue to be built up. We don't want to fall behind the curve at all. Technically, we're already slightly behind because the British are at 16,000 along with the French. But, I mean, we'll hold our own fine. Up, there we go, okay. Now we have money. You do have to keep your monthly balance to a certain percent, within a certain range, based off your, I believe it's off of your budget. But I don't recall what that percentage is. Otherwise, you will get hit with a, hey, you don't seem to be using much of your budget, so we're going to take your money from you and put it elsewhere. Visit from Italy. After a naval visit by Italy, you're asked by a journalist to comment on the visiting ship. I don't know what ship it was, so I don't know if I should be impressed or not. Italy's not that upset at us, so I can stand to gain a little extra free prestige for calling their ship a bunch of rust buckets and indifferently trained soldiers and indolent officers. California, New Jersey, and Ohio finished their workup. Wonderful. There's been a rebellion in Annam. Should I support the rebels? Yeah. That is in Vietnam, correct? Yes. That is Da Nang in Cam Bay. Okay, now what do I want to do with the new ships? Well, it frees me up to send a couple of extra ships down into the Caribbean, which is not the worst idea ever. Although we do already sort of overpower any British troops there, but if I get into war with Britain, they're going to send a ton more troops there, so yeah, we want to try and be ready. And government wants to reduce social spending. Get the Naval League to protest. There we go. And game says, let's see, so the government is concerned about tensions leading to war. You've been called to get advice. What do you recommend? If you want peace, arm for war. Or we should safeguard our interests by negotiating with... Germany seems most likely to have any successful negotiations considering tensions are low. This, I believe, can grant you one of two things. A alliance, or it can grant you, well, I think at least it can grant you the second thing, which is a trade agreement, or a tech treaty agreement. But I think I'll just take the budget, and that tension should not increase Japan enough to go to war. And even if it does, we can win. Nope, it only increased the British and German, which is fine, because we can deal with the British and Germans. Okay, southeastern seaboard has 3 ports. I can't say I've ever had any engagements down here, but you never know. Let's build some 10-inch gun batteries there. And they want to... New Liberal government wants to reduce government arms expenditures. Spell doom of our proud nation. We will be at the mercy of other nations that are better prepared. That's fine. Gets us some extra money. And oil found in Angola, and we have improved 5-inch guns. And lo and behold, the Corvettes we've been building have 5-inch guns. Anything else with 5-inch guns? Yes, actually. Brooklands have 5-inch secondaries. But I'm a little too lazy to go and ship them back home, because they will have to come back home to get that stuff, so let's not. Let's just, leave it be. I can't quite get you under. You're gonna be overweight, which means I can't build you. Only way I'd be able to do that is if I decrease your armor or replace machinery. And replacing machinery will take far too long of a rebuild. That's 10 months. We're not going to spend 10 months. If I decrease your armor, that takes us from a 3-month rebuild to a 4-month rebuild, which I can live with. I'd rather not have to do that, but I can live with it. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild the San Frans with improved 5-inch guns, and oh boy, now we're losing a ton of money. The steel industry wants a stronger navy. They want you to help convince the president to increase naval expenditure. Let's mention the importance of a strong navy in the steel industry for national well-being to the president. And France crushed the rebels, because of course they did. Colorado finished her workup. Economy recovers. Private shipyards expand. And a colonial crisis with France has arisen. Okay. I don't really want to go to war with France, to be honest. Well, I say that. How strong is France? 5 battleships, 5 armored cruisers, 4 light cruisers, and 13 destroyers? You know what? I think I can take France. We must safeguard our interests, and if it leads to war, we are prepared to fight it. It didn't quite get us to fighting a war, but, you know, it got us close. Which is fine. If that's going to be the case, I'm going to want to start building up our fortifications in the Caribbean. So, 10-inch gun batteries in Puerto Rico. You want to build another Colorado in 25 months? Be my guest. Russia. During maneuvers, one of our ships has opened fire on a fishing boat from Russia, sinking the boat and killing several fishermen. How do we react? The boat was fishing in a restricted area, and they suffered the consequences of their carelessness. Now I can build 600-ton DDs. Whoops. you guys have, out of curiosity? Oh, you have 3-inch guns, okay. I'll let those guys finish. Now I could build larger, only slightly larger destroyers, not dreadnoughts. 3-inch guns just aren't worth it. Like, you need to go to at least 4-inch if you want to be able to hit anything. Well, I say hit anything. If you want to be able to actually penetrate anything with any armor whatsoever. Which, I mean, granted, destroyers generally should only be fighting other things with no armor. Out of curiosity, what do French destroyers look like? No armor? Oh, you only have the Durandals. Okay. Here we go. No armor. Oops. Armor. Okay, but yeah, everybody looks to be putting some armor on their, light cruisers. And yes, I do have it set up so that the, some of these countries have their decks colored. So the Germans I just have with the normal gray. The British I gave a blue, a light blue. The French I gave white. Oops. Russia I gave a darker blue. Japan I gave a red. I might change that red though. And the Italians get a green, and I might change that green because I don't really like that green actually. Go for a dark green. And is there a different red I could use? That's more of a pink. It's a bit of more of a darker red. I think that'll look a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, that looks better. That's just so that in battles I can tell a little bit easier whose ships are who. New docks completed. And the Navy wants, or the President wants me to build, or no, the new Naval Secretary rather, has read a book on naval strategy extolling the cruiser, I guess the benefits of cruiser warfare. And wants me to build 9 additional cruisers. Of course I'll build you 9 additional cruisers. Do we have a cruiser design that I want to build more of? Now it doesn't matter if it's a CA or a CL. I'm going to go for a CA. The question is just to do with the Brooklyn or the Pueblo. And I think I'm going to go with the Pueblo. It's larger, it's faster, it's got bigger guns. Yeah. 5-inch belt compared to 5. Okay, so slightly less armored on the belt, but a little bit more armored on the deck. Now, how does that stack up to a French armored cruiser? So French armored cruisers have 7-inch guns. Can 7-inch guns pen 5 inches of belt? Let's find out. And the answer to that would be no. In fact, it's kind of overkill. What are our things meant to do? Deal with the guns from a pre-dreadnought? Yeah. I think that is actually what they were designed to do. Was to be able to manage to take punches from pre-dreadnoughts. Yeah, we're gonna build 9 Pueblos. Not all at once, mind you, because as you can see, we can't afford it. So, you know, they'll be sitting in the queue, which is the only thing that really matters. To, please in the Naval Secretary. Buy from Germany. I'll take the budget, thank you. And we got info on the French battleship Trident. 4 12-inch guns, 16 6-inch guns, and interesting. They went with dual turrets for secondaries. They should be suffering a penalty for that. Because I doubt they've researched the technology or even started with it to not have to deal with that. See, 9.5-inch belt, 2-inch deck, 10-inch turret. Those are thick turrets at 10 inches. 6-inch secondaries and 10-inch conning tower. Let's just continue on. Russia's getting a little up there. Let's... Now we can get Russia a little bit closer to the brink. I'll take the prestige, thank you. Set all of our Corvettes to foreign station. 10-inch gun batteries finished. Scientists say they're well on their way to understanding power rammers. Heavy secondary battery enables secondary guns heavier than 7 inches in casemate or single turrets. Wonderful. Not that we plan to use that anytime soon. Because, for one, I'd only be able to use that on a battleship. Either pre-dreadnought or post. In fact, yeah. I need to, yeah, so at least 8 inches if I want to be able to use gun turrets for the secondaries instead of casemates. Which all come with their own pros and cons. Obviously, turret secondaries have more of a firing arc, but they are affected, I believe, by waves. So just the ocean, movements of the ocean. While casemates, I don't believe are. Also, I think turrets are also affected by the shockwave from other guns firing, while casemates are not. So again, there are advantages to each, but generally turrets are much better than casemates. Okay, well, we got power rammers. Go ahead and unpause some of those armored cruisers. Because they were all halted, is that why you say? Okay. I guess because they were all halted when the game finally decided to check if I was done. Or to see if I was actually doing it. Oh well. We'll live. Strong arms industry, yes. A major arms firm wants to sell ships to a South American country. This will be good for our arms industry, but risks leaking sensitive technology. What is my recommendation? I can gain budget or just do nothing. I'll take the budget, thank you. And we got double bottom. And we finally got early submarines. Well, early coastal submarines, rather. So let's build a whole bunch of those because they're very useful. Oh, I should probably go and build up our dock size. I didn't realize it finished. What I get for not paying attention. 10-inch gun batteries in Puerto Rico finished, wonderful. Although typically most of my engagements seem to be around Haiti in my experience, but whatever. 2 10-inch gun batteries in Haiti. There has been an internal upheaval in Celebes and Moluccas. If we send an expedition force to restore order, there's a chance that we can take it over as a colony. However, this may well increase international tensions. It's only 1+, so nobody should go to war with us over this, so let's try it. And as per usual, the situation in Celebes and Moluccas has spiraled out of control, and a local warlord has taken over as president. You're criticized in the press for your vinegary schemes. Now, where is that out of curiosity? I want to assume that is somewhere out in Southeast Asia. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's sort of the Papua New Guinea type area. Yep, we failed that. I don't know why. It's just a roll, and I don't know if there's anything I can do to influence it. Granted, that would require me to also know it's going to happen beforehand, which isn't the case, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and queue up more of our Lake Moors, though. Because they're going to be our main trade protection stuff. Okay, Russia's close to war. Again, Russia has nothing we want, so if we go to war with them, it's just going to be beating the crap out of them until surrender is forced, and I'll just take the reparations in the war, which, I mean, we can do that, that's fine. Russia's an easy fight, really. 6 battleships, 3 armored cruisers, 4 light cruisers, 15 destroyers. It's actually a decent amount of destroyers, surprisingly, for them. But they have, like, no budget whatsoever. So, the president has returned from a state visit to Russia, bringing home a proposal to solve outstanding sources of tensions between our nations. What is our response when asked for advice? We can never trust Russia to keep agreements. Better arm for conflict and beat them soundly. And unexpected advances in hull construction. 1% weight savings on hull. Wonderful. Oh, not quite war yet. They gotta get to 12 for us to go to war. See, do I want to move any more ships anywhere? Maybe add another... Let's move Colorado to Southeast Asia. Just so we have 4 in the Caribbean and 4 in Southeast Asia. And if we're going to go to war with Russia, I should probably put some troops on the or some ships on the West Coast. When I fought Russia in the past, I've been forced to have engagements on the West Coast. Typically not much. It's minor engagements as they pass through the area, but, you know, if I can sink a ship or two whenever they're passing through the area, I would love to do that. There are indications that Germany is engaging in industrial espionage against Russia. Also, let's go and dump more intel effort into Russia if we're going to go to war. Oh, disarmament from The Hague. No. That's gonna force Russia over, which our troops are not quite in position yet. But I think we'll live. Oh, I'm due to hold a speech at the annual gathering of the Navy League. What will be the gist of my speech? The freedom of the seas is threatened by the imperialistic ambitions of Russia. And now we're with Russia. So, there's nowhere we can invade in Russia. Just literally nowhere. So we're not going to bother with that. I need to put some stuff onto trade protection. That's fine. For now. And we get our first engagement. The battleship engagement in the Panama. 4 battleships, 2 armored cruisers. Well, these are my forces in the area. I don't know exactly what'll be brought in. Nor do I know exactly what the Russians will bring in, or even if they'll accept. They may just say, no, I think we'll lose that, so they decline battle. We'll see. They've chosen to fight it. And OBS does seem to be working correctly, and okay. This looks to be pretty much our entire thing. Okay, no, I was about to say, I think we're missing a armored cruiser, but we're not. They're in a screen formation, which is annoying. Unknown ship spot, wow, okay. Well, I guess that's not too surprising. We are fighting at what time? It is 5:44 in the afternoon. Line ahead, yes. You should be line ahead. But your layout doesn't look like line ahead. Oh no, is it just you in that? No? Apparently you have some other stuff there. You have the Drayton, the Poe. I don't see the Poe. Oh no. Excuse me, it's the Roe. God, I'm reading that wrong. Fine. Everybody squad max. Including you guys. I need you guys to keep an eye on that ship. I do wish the Pueblo was in charge of this squadron, or this division here. Because as it stands right now, it's gonna move down south to regroup with the San Diego before moving back up north. And while doing that, we risk losing sight of this unknown ship. Which is apparently an armored cruiser, at least that's what we think. But we don't know for certain until we get there. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, Olympia. Why are you having problems? We're gonna put our light cruiser division to cruising speed, so the Olympia, you know, will maybe actually catch up. There's the rest of their stuff. That I'm assuming is their destroyers, but it might be their battleships. Oh no, that's those four are their battleships, definitely. Okay. They have 4 battleships, we have 3. I think we had 4 deployed here, but the game decided to only give us 3. I think they got all 4 of them. Yeah, those are battleships. Now, night's coming. Which is going to sort of screw with us, because we're going to lose... Yep. We're going to lose sight of them now. Make sure to set our destroyers to... not fire their torpedoes just because they feel like it. More accurately, that they just don't fire unless I tell them to fire. Oh no, those are actually armored cruisers? No, those are battleships. Oh, game, you tried to trick me. Okay, so they have the Imperator Peter Veliki class, which is 10-inch belt. Yeah, only our battleships are getting through that, or torpedoes. Actually, even our battleships might not. No, our battleships cannot get through 10 inches of belt armor. Can I get through their deck armor? Yes, I can get through their deck armor, which means I will have to fight at range. Actually, can I? No, I can't actually get through their deck armor either. See, our starting ship designs are, for lack of a better way to describe them, horse shit. No. Oh, I can't make smoke. Okay. We haven't researched the tech yet to make smoke. And the Pueblo has taken shots, and it's pretty badly hurt already. Oh, great job, guys. We're gonna break off our destroyers because I don't quite have a good run on them. And now we've lost sight. Up game. Send the armored cruisers back in to try and establish sight along with the light cruisers. Oh. Found him. Oh shit. Continue on your current heading. Turn in. I wish I could more micromanage my destroyers, because there's a perfect gap right here to go through and fire one torpedo off on the port side and one torpedo off on the starboard. Oh my god, that would hurt those guys so much if I could do it, but I can't. I can't micromanage them that much, sadly. No, game, that's not an armored cruiser, that's a battleship. I know that because there's no way they'd be in this formation. Thank you. What's their speed? Okay, they're also faster than our battleships. That's the reason why our battleships can't do anything. Oh, oh. Well, okay, you almost got it. You almost got it. Just a little more forward. Ah, I think they just turned. That's gonna knock them out of your arc. Yep. You could try to fire on that one, but you're unlikely to hit, I think. There we go. You can fire and try to hit the second one here. Pueblo, do you happen to have a shot with your torpedo? No. Does the San Diego... Oh, the San Diego might have a shot. Lucia, you're very close. And as a result, you don't quite have a shot. There you go. Now you have a shot. Do you have a shot again or no? You do. Oh yes. Perfect. So that one, what happened to it? Do we know? We don't know. All we know is it was hit by a torpedo. But I'm assuming we managed to hit, you know, something very important. Because it exploded as soon as it got hit. The Flusy. Okay, annoyingly, the Reed is now trying to take over the Flusier, which results in some issues. That's probably why, actually. That ain't gonna do anything, bro. Flusier is sinking. Can I get your torpedo off before your... No, I can't. Okay. Olympia, do you have a shot? You don't. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about all these guys down here. McCall, do you have a shot? I said, McCall, do you have a shot? No, you don't. I'm pretty sure the Reed doesn't either, no. Ooh. Street might now have a shot. Is that... No, that guy's not... You're trying to hit this guy. You're on crack, game. That ain't happening. I can tell you that right now. That is not happening. Reed, do you have a shot on this guy now? Nope, not quite. Now. Now you do. Hit. Wonderful. Reed, do you have another shot at him? You do. Take it. Olympia, you might want to go faster. Now the game claims light damage, but that's not completely accurate. Also, let's break off the tripe, because it's too badly damaged. And let's bring our guys back down, because we've kind of got enemy destroyers trying to sneak up on our battleships that, you know, are a little slow. Not quite having a shot. A little faster, there you go. Well, not faster, but, you know, a little further ahead. Nope, still don't have a shot. Still don't have a shot. There you go, now you have a shot. And now you have a potential issue of the rally getting hit. Yeah, as it stands right now, pretty much our only choice to actually, you know, hurt them is to use torpedoes, which presents its own set of issues. Ah, shit, San Diego got hit. San Diego, how... That's some pretty bad flooding. I'm gonna break you off, so that the Pueblo can do its thing. Yeah, that guy's heavily damaged. The game claims he's going 10 knots. He's not going 10 knots. Not heavily damaged. Typically when you get labeled as heavily damaged, okay, no, Trayton, you're going home. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Okay, there we go. Now you updated finally and actually did the thing I told you to do. Pueblo still has torpedoes, wonderful. There's the other battleships. You have a shot. Just try it. Nope, it missed. You know what? Let's send the Monaghan down here to take care of that one. We'll have the Welk. Oh. Oh, never mind. For a second I thought that guy's rudder was hit, which would have presented an opportunity, potentially. But nope, never mind. Do any of you happen to have a shot? No, because some of you guys have friendly... Where's my timer? We'll let this go a little bit long. Just try it. We're just gonna throw as much shit down the line as we can. That reminds me, I should probably have the rally break off if I'm gonna do that, though. You know what, Raleigh? You try. There we go, we got hit. Oh, I kind of forgot about you guys. Oh, but luckily it didn't really matter, because the guys that actually have torpedoes, I did not forget about. Ooh. Blew up their ammo store or something. Yeah, that guy's not going home. I can tell you that right now. Oh. Oh, never mind. Damn it, game. You keep tricking me, you know that? Out of arc. I don't know if that Boyke class fired a torpedo or not, but if it did, it missed. Try this again. I'm pretty sure both of these dreadnoughts or destroyers rather, not destroyers, battleships, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, are taking heavy flooding damage. They just haven't quite admitted defeat yet, though. Okay, it's the row and after that have torpedoes. Turn a little. Row should have a shot now. It does. Wonderful fire. Wonderful hit. Perkins, do you got a shot still? You do. Wonderful fire. And let's turn. I'm sorry. Can you fire your torpedoes before you officially sink? No. Because reasons. Not so much reasons, but I mean, is that guy seriously not in your firing arc? Apparently not. Get our battleships back up north. Bring the light cruisers back down. We'll save that last torpedo on the burrows for the other battleship over here. It's issuing close. Fine, Walk. Is your turn. McCall, do you got a shot? You have a potential shot. Try it. And he turned. That's why I'm saving the shot as well over here of the burrows. Actually, I don't think he turned. I think we have actually now officially hit the rudder. Oh no. Again, game just keeps tricking us. Burrows, so you got a shot? You do. Wonderful fire. Hit. Yep. Sinking now. Definitely sinking. Let's send our destroyers back to port, I think. Well, we'll send that division. Division 6, but Division 10 can stay. I'm pretty sure they still have destroyers and light cruisers and shit. And the Strat has finally officially sunk. Drop your guys' speed down to zilch. So you can just sit here and fire until he sinks. Somebody said they lost sight of a target. The rally. Okay, I'm assuming that was you. Montana, there's no reason to hold fire. We know what it is. It's a battleship. It's an enemy one. You're so close that if you can't see the flag, for one thing, that is sad. There you go. We've also officially identified it now. I assume the rally helped with that. Okay, yeah, you guys have two submerged, so they're on the sides. And he's on fire now. That battleship is not lucky at all. Oh, do any of you have torpedoes? The Olympia does. Wonderful. Do I want to try it, though? So that is your torpedo range. You shouldn't hit our ships on the other side. Because their torpedoes should not have enough fuel to go that far. Can you turn just a little bit before you officially stop? No. Oh, well, we hit him apparently. And I'm just going to let the game keep running until this guy sinks. Nevada's almost out of ammo. Montana's almost out of ammo. Kind of hard for you to understand signals when you're not moving at all. And if you can't keep up, break off. I know, game. I know. Okay, Perkins, what the hell are you firing on? Oh, shit, okay. I did not realize that those guys were down there. Okay. Change of plans. Let's, apparently they got an armored cruiser that went all the way down there. Let's get our cruisers back down there, and we'll just let our battleships continue to pound away at theirs. It's target practice. It does actually help them. Okay, now it finally sunk. Yes, interport. And we lost sight of them now. Go back up. Damn. And daylight is too far away. We're not going to find him. I think he's going to get away. Yeah, I think that armored cruiser's going to get lucky. He is going to manage to escape as... Well, not the sole survivor, because there are definitely destroyers that I missed. I think the destroyers probably went up north. But they weren't my focus, really. The enemy battleships are the most important thing to me to sink when given the opportunity. So, yep. We're gonna miss them. But not enough time has elapsed for the game to finally say, mission over. I know, it seems like it probably should have. But, nope. This time down here in parentheses is the amount of time that has to pass before the game will decide for itself and say, okay, battle over. Battles can still go past that time if you're in an engagement, but if you're not in an engagement, that's when it'll end. The no opposing ships are in sight of each other and scenario length is reached. The scenario is over. So, sunk 4 battleships. Their light cruisers got away. And we lightly damaged 1 destroyer and heavily damaged another. And, okay. They were going southwest. So, yep. Okay, I should have... If I kept going southwest after hitting Panama, I would have eventually found them. Well, potentially. They might still be going faster than me. Okay, yeah, we might have caught up with them. Our destroyers potentially would have spotted them. But I don't think we would have been able to really do much, even if our destroyers had spotted them, just as a result of... I don't think any of our other ships would have really been able to get there in time to engage. Let's go ahead and leave scenario. So, as a result of that being a major victory, I gained 2 prestige. We gain 6,438 victory points. The enemy gained 613 because, you know, they did technically sink some of our ships. And yeah, sure, we'll call it the Battle of Tambor Island. I don't know if that's... I mean, presumably it's accurate, but I mean, I would have probably just called it like the Battle of Panama or some shit. But okay, sure, Tambor Island. Yeah, we're gonna have that be the end of this part. I will see you all next time, where we will continue this war. It probably won't last very long because I can't invade anything of Russia's and Russia's can't invade anything of me, and I should be able to more or less stomp them. You know, I just sunk 4 of their battleships. So they're down to just 2 now. Both of them are Imperator Peter Velki, which are, you know, okay, but they're not that great. 7.5-inch belt. They are faster than us, though. Also, I don't know why we're getting different information. The game says... That was weird, okay. Okay, but they are building 4 more already. I have no info on the 4 they're building. But for some reason the game says speed 19 here, but speed 17 here. I don't know which one of these is accurate. But, I mean, I want to assume the 17 is. I don't recall what the game was saying for this class when we were in the battle. It might have been saying 19. In which case, this is presumably the design speed, and this is the actual speed. I'm not 100% certain on that, though, if that is the case. Oh, they're building an AMC, apparently. That is interesting, that they would bother spending the time building armored merchant carriers. Oh, and those are actually somewhat skilled battleships. They have a star on them. I believe stars are indications that you actually have some experience. I could be wrong on that, though, but I believe it does actually indicate, to a degree, crew quality. But as a result of, you know, us being in a fight now, I should probably actually spend some money on training. It's a little late now, actually. We'll do that after the war is over. We'll update our doctrine for training priorities to gunnery and torpedo warfare. That will increase maintenance costs. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will continue the war. But until then, goodbye and farewell.